Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, kindly rise to welcome the Honorable President of the Republic of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu ji. You may now please be seated. It is our greatest privilege to receive the Honorable President of India at the 8th session of the International Solar Alliance Assembly today. This moment is made even more special as it coincides with a decade since ISA's announcement at COP21 in Paris. A decade of collective solar leadership, cooperation, and action. We are truly honored and inspired by your gracious presence today. To commence the formal proceedings, may I invite Shri Ashish Khanna, Director General of the International Solar Alliance, to deliver the welcome address.
Mananiya Rashtrapati Ji, Srimati Draupadi Murmu, Honorable President of the ISA Assembly, Shri Prahlad Joshi, Minister of New and Renewable Energy, Honorable Co-President of the ISA Assembly, Mr. Benoit Faraco, Special Envoy for Climate, the French Republic, Honorable Vice Presidents, Ministers, Ambassadors, High Commissioners, Honorary Council, and other excellencies. It is truly an honor to privilege to address this distinguished assembly today, in the presence of Honorable President of India, whose visionary leadership and commitment to sustainable development continue to inspire us all. On behalf of the International Solar Alliance Secretariat and our entire membership of 125 countries, I extend heartfelt gratitude to all the distinguished delegates who have traveled from near and far to join us in this shared endeavor to make solar energy the cornerstone of a sustainable and inclusive global future. This assembly is also a milestone moment in ISA's journey. It marks 10 years since the idea of the International Solar Alliance was first conceived in 2015 at COP21 in Paris. A decade ago, ISA was born from a simple yet powerful idea that the sun unites us all. Today, that idea has grown into a global alliance of 125 countries, representing nearly 3/4 of humanity. In these 10 years, ISA has transformed from a bold vision into a living institution, one that brings together nations, innovators, and communities under the shared belief that solar energy is the most democratic form of power, accessible to all, owned by none, and shared by everyone. For me personally, this moment carries deep meaning. From standing before this assembly last year, sharing my vision for what ISA could become, to now standing before you as its new Director General, presenting what ISA is becoming, represents both gratitude and excitement for me. We are at a pivotal moment in solar journey in the world. It took 25 years to do 1,000 gigawatt of solar, just 2 years to reach 2,000, and we will reach 4,600 in next 4 years. 70% of that is going to happen in Asia, giving an onerous responsibility to a Global South institution like International Solar Alliance. As part of this responsibility, we are using this assembly to launch aggregation platforms to bring together all our member countries. For the first time in ISA's history, we are launching Global Solar Facility with a dedicated program to help our African countries through an Africa Solar Facility of about $200 million that will leverage substantial private sector investment. Another aggregation platform is small island developing states. 16 of these countries have come together to do a joint procurement to get out of very expensive and polluting diesel and heavy fuel oil to embrace solar and storage using our own aggregation with other partners. The third platform is what our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Modi had envisioned: one sun, one world, one grid. Today, we launch a secretariat to take forward his dream into reality of concrete proposals to connect different countries over time to come. We also take our responsibility of global thought leadership of Global South. In this assembly, let me share 4 big initiatives that we will be launching. First is a community called Sunrise of bringing all 125 countries together to start working on solar PV and battery PV waste management. This is a critical opportunity for all of us to learn, build shared standards, and recycle all the materials for our critical mineral strategy. Second, we will discuss harmonizing of standards using India's experience and IEC of how we can all work towards shared standards for all 125 countries. Third, we will launch an ISA Academy and a Global Capability Center, bringing all the digital solutions of learning to all 125 countries, so that wherever you are, in whatever strata of income, you have access to all the information of what solar can do for your countries. And finally, we are using this to launch some of our key flagship reports, whether it is on global solar trends, solar compass, ease of doing solar, and floating solar. These outcomes reaffirm that ISA's greatest strength lies in its collaborative spirit, programs co-created by member countries, implemented through partnership, and owned by the regions themselves. Excellencies, ISA's journey is no longer about what can be done. It's about how we are going to do it together. From Accra to Colombo, from Santiago to Brussels, we are lighting lives, building trust, and powering prosperity. As our Indian ethos remind us, Sarva Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarva Santu Nirama, may all be happy, may all be free from suffering. Let us make the sun a common language of progress and ISA a collective instrument of change. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Director General, for that warm and inspiring welcome. Since its inception, the ISA has touched and transformed countless lives, bringing light, livelihood, and hope through the power of the sun. As we move from ambition to action, let us take this opportunity to reflect on our collective journey and the brighter future we continue to build together. May I now invite you to join us for a short film that captures the remarkable journey and impact of the International Solar Alliance.
Every sunrise carries a promise. Light can awaken life, ignite hope, and shape destiny. A decade ago, that promise became a purpose. At the Paris Climate Conference in 2015, nations imagined a world powered by the sun, where every country moves forward together. From that vision emerged the International Solar Alliance, turning sunlight into shared prosperity.
Friends, in 2015, the ISA began as a small sapling. It was a moment of hope and aspiration. Today, it is growing into giant tree, inspiring policy and action.
From dialogue to delivery, ISA began with a clear conviction. No nation should be energy poor when it is sun-rich. Today, 125 member and signatory countries work under one sun, linking ambition to action and policy to people. Together, we are proving that collaboration can power transformation across cities, villages, and islands alike. It took the world 25 years to reach 1,000 gigawatts of solar. The last 2 years alone added another 1,000. By 2030, renewables are set to grow by 4,600 gigawatts, with solar accounting for nearly 80% of that expansion. These aren't just numbers. They're proof of what's possible when the world moves as one. As president of the ISA Assembly, India isn't just participating in the global clean energy transition, it's leading it. Today, India stands tall as the third largest solar power producer in the world. It produces over 1,08,000 gigawatt hours of solar electricity every year and has achieved 50% of its installed power capacity from non-fossil fuel sources, 5 years ahead of target. That leadership has tangible impact, saving the nation nearly $46 billion in fossil fuel imports and pollution-related costs. At ISA, we're proud to carry India's solar success stories, its policy innovations, and scalable models, to countries across the global south, enabling real, replicable impact worldwide. As solar scales, ISA's mission deepens, connecting grids, closing gaps, mobilizing finance, and empowering people.
Guyana, my country, is known as the land of many waters. Oriala is a remote community, and the challenges that come with providing services into remote communities, education, health.
In the past, our strategy is encouraging the farmers to produce more vegetables. So the Chile that we have in the country, it is on the second largest of the island of Praslin, whereby we have a farming community and we have a lot of hotels on that island. So farmers can use agriculture to have more income, and using solar energy is one of the ways to cut down the cost of production, and it will help us achieve increasing food security for the island.
Problem is during summertime, we have lots of vegetable fruits coming up. But then if we don't have a storage, then the problem would be during the winter time from where to get it. Solar Alliance has come in the right time. So this has become a good support to our food security also.
Renewables are now accelerating faster than fossil fuels. At COP28, the global community made a landmark commitment to triple the world's installed renewable energy capacity, reaching at least 11,000 gigawatts by 2030, with solar set to lead this expansion. Since its founding conference in 2018, the International Solar Alliance has emerged as a global convener of collective resolve, bringing together leaders, innovators, and partners to make energy an enabler of people, power, and progress. The 8th Assembly of the ISA, held in New Delhi, will mark another milestone in this journey, reaffirming that under one sun, one world, and one family, we can light the future together.
Thank you. I now request His Excellency Mr. Benoit Faraco, Special Envoy for Climate, former advisor to the President of the French Republic, lead negotiator at COP30, and co-chair of the 8th session of the ISA Assembly, to address this gathering.
Honorable President of the Republic of India, Your Excellency Ms. Draupadi Murmu, Honorable Minister of New and Renewable Energy, Ms. Pralad Venkatesh Joshi, Honorable Vice President, Honorable Ministers, Director General, dear Ashish Khanna, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen in your esteemed capacities. I'm deeply honored and proud to participate and to co-chair this 8th General Assembly of the International Solar Alliance with the Honorable President of the Republic of India and the Honorable Minister. It's a privilege to stand here with you, united by a shared conviction that the transition to clean energy is not only an imperative to combat climate change, but also a tremendous opportunity for growth, innovation, and cooperation, and of course, for energy security and sovereignty. 10 years ago, we launched the ISA and adopted the Paris Agreement because India, France, and many partners knew that to succeed, we would need tools like this one, tools that turns objectives into projects. 10 years ago, the ISA was only a concept. Now it's a reality. And as we approach COP30 in November, together in Belém, Brazil, we must reaffirm our commitment to the temperature goal of the Paris Agreement and start a new cycle of climate ambition by coming forward with 1.5 aligned NDC. Climate change and its terrible impact, and I will have a thought for our friends in the Caribbean who are facing these days terrible events and a very strong hurricane. Climate action will be at the core of our work for the next decade. And this alliance, the International Solar Alliance, work directly to contribute to the implementation of COP decision, especially the decision to transition away from fossil fuel and the tripling of renewable energy capacity by 2030 as agreed as COP28. For countries that are not oil and gas producers, solar, renewable and nuclear energy means more independence and a more resilient economy. 10 years after, it's time to look backward and consider what we achieved. A decade ago, fossil fuel was the most competitive way to produce energy. It's not the case anymore. Everywhere in the world, renewable energy becomes synonym of economic performance. In just 10 years, the cost of solar photovoltaic has fallen by more than 80% according to the IRENA number. This is our collective success. And it's time now to look for the next decade. For solar energy to thrive worldwide, we must invest not only in infrastructures, but also in people. It is in this spirit that France has proudly supported the STAR-C program through successive secondments and financial contribution amounting to a total of 1.25 million euros. But yet, despite progress and growing economic viability of solar energy, a significant investment gap remains, particularly in developing economy. Less than 5% of global renewable investment goes to Africa, where the potential for renewable energy is so huge. To bridge this gap, catalytic and innovative financing instruments, such as the African Solar Facility, must play a central role. By de-risking investment and lowering the cost of capital, this mechanism can unlock unprecedented level of investment. This is why I am pleased to announce here today that France has decided to make an inaugural contribution of 150,000 euros to the African Solar Facility for the year 2025. France's commitment extends beyond this initiative. Through the French Development Agency Group, France devoted approximately 2.5 billion in 2024 to clean energy, including 400 million dedicated to the African continent. For France, priorities are clear, and we are so proud to share it with India. First, to reinforce the STAR-C program, building local and capacity skills. Second, to facilitate access to financing for developing economy, pursuing sustainable growth, and improve the whole solar value chain, which must be open and accessible to all. And third, to further internationalize the ISA Secretariat, enhancing its reach and influence across all regions. COP30 will be a COP of implementation, and together we have been pioneering in implementation. Ladies and gentlemen, the next decade will be about smart grids, storage, and the digital economy. It's a bright future for solar energy. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for your continued leadership and enduring partnership in this shared endeavor. As the world's third largest solar power producer, the Republic of India, under the leadership of the Honorable Prime Minister of India, continues to exemplify the transformative potential of solar energy. As the presidency of the International Solar Alliance, India continues to lead by example, demonstrating how energy transition and inclusive growth can go hand in hand. May I now invite Shri Prahlad Joshi, Honorable Union Minister for New and Renewable Energy, Government of India, and the President of the ISA Assembly to deliver his address.
Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu, Shri Ashish Khanna, Director General of the International Solar Alliance, esteemed ministers, distinguished delegates from across the globe, good morning to you again, namaskar. Honorable President, it is my privilege to welcome you. Your presence adds the strength and meaning to our mission, reminding us that this is not just about adding the kilowatts, but about the serving a higher moral purpose. Let me also extend warm welcome to the ministers who have joined us from the other countries. Your presence reflects our shared commitment and global solidarity in advancing the clean energy future. I would like to begin by reflecting on the inspiration journey of our Honorable President. It is the journey that deeply resonates with the story of our nation. The Honorable President's life is defined not by the privilege, but by the quiet determination and commitment to the public service. First as a teacher, then as an MLA and minister, then as a governor, and now as head of the state of the world's largest democracy. Honorable President, Madam, your story is a proof that in India, no background is too humble and no barrier is too high to rise the highest levels of service. This, ladies and gentlemen, is not just a story of our Honorable President. It is a story of India, of India's renewable energy revolution. Some 10, 11 years ago, India was a marginal player in the global RE landscape. Yet today, we stand as a major force driving some of the world's largest clean energy projects. It is a special coincidence that millions of Indians today rose before the sunrise to worship the sun we call Surya Dev on Chhat, a festival celebrating our eternal bond with nature. It is therefore a great occasion that we are meeting today at the headquarters of the International Solar Alliance. ISA is a true symbol of global cooperation and shared purpose. For thousands of years, India has shown how faith and progress, nature and growth can move together in harmony. As I said, just over a decade ago, India's renewable energy journey was only a beginning. Our challenge was to bring light to the hundreds of millions of homes. But like our Honorable President's journey, India's story is one of overcoming the great odds and a mission of service. Service to our 1.4 billion people to ensure energy access for all and service to our planet. Today, India stands at the forefront, not just as a participant, but a leader in the global energy transition. India is now the world's fourth largest RE capacity. Renewables in 2014 compared to today, in 2014 it is 81 gigawatt of renewable energy. Today it is 257 gigawatt. That is almost 217% growth. Solar energy in 2014 it was 2.8 gigawatt, and today it is 128 gigawatt as on date. That is 4,470% growth. Solar module manufacturing capacity to 2 gigawatt in 2014. Today, it is 110 gigawatt, that is 5,400% growth. Solar cells, it was 0 in 2014. Today, it is 27 gigawatt. Wafers, it was 0, now it is 2.2 gigawatt. This transformation was led by Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. Under his leadership, India achieved nationally determined contribution target of 50% capacity from non-fossil sources 5 years ahead of the deadline. India is the voice of the global south, and through ISA, we are turning that voice into action, helping the nations harness the solar power and share technology. India's renewable tariffs, be it solar, solar plus battery, and green ammonia, are among the lowest globally. This reflects our ability to combine the scale with the speed and skill to make clean energy affordable. The International Energy Agency projects that India will become the world's second largest renewable market. The International Renewable Energy Agency calls India an energy transition powerhouse. And the Climate Change Performance Index continues to rank India among the top performers. In fact, among G20 countries, India is the only nation to have achieved its 2030 renewable energy target as early as 2021. We have consistently been at the forefront of the global efforts to mitigate the climate change. India now ranks the third in the world in terms of the growth in power generation capacity over the past 5 years. For a nation with one of the lowest per capita emission, one of the lowest per capita energy consumption, globally, our commitment to clean energy transition is truly remarkable. In India, our guiding principle is Antyodaya, serving the last person first, last person in the queue, but serving the first. In the same spirit, our energy transition empowers the poorest. Through PM Kusum, the farmers now use the solar pumps for the irrigation, free from diesel costs, and even sell the surplus power. The PM Suryaghar Muft Bijli Yojana aims to place solar panels on 10 million rooftops, turning the families into the producer of the free, clean electricity. Producer of the free, clean electricity. The IEA has rightly highlighted India's model of distributed solar that can serve as a blueprint for the entire world. We are proving that the clean energy is not a privilege for few, but it is right for all. Under PM Jan-Man, off-grid solar is lighting the remote tribal hamlets that have waited 75 years for the power. For us, energy justice is a normal necessity. The spirit of the service extends to the world. For millennia, our civilization has played Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha. May all be happy and prosperous. During our G20 presidency, our theme, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, one earth, one family, one future, became the world's moral compass. The same philosophy shapes the International Solar Alliance. The ISA stands as a platform for South cooperation and belief that sunlight belongs to all humanity. Our One Sun, One World, One Grid initiative builds on that vision to connect the world through a shared clean energy grid, transmitting the solar power from where the sun shines, where it is dark. We believe greatness lies not in domination, but in service, to be Vishwamitra, the friend of the world. The road ahead is long, but our resolve is firm. We have shown that the nation of 1.4 billion can overcome the odds, lift the millions out of the poverty, and lead globally clean energy transition under the leadership of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. I am happy to highlight that this assembly meets as the world's witness its fastest clean energy expansion. Solar energy now over 1,600 gigawatt globally and accounts for nearly about 40% of our total renewable energy generation. Yet the progress remains uneven. In sub-Saharan Africa and small island nations, millions still live without reliable electricity. Bridging this divide demands collective ambition and equitable finance. India invites all the partners of the International Solar Alliance to join this mission to engage, energize, and empower the new global energy order together. India is now working on contribution of $25 million to the African Solar Facility under ISA to support the investment in the mini-grids and distributed renewables across Africa. This reflects our belief in equitable growth within the global South. With these words, let me thank France, our co-president, for its firm partnership and climate leadership, and commend the Director General ISA, Mr. Ashish Khanna, for steering the organization into a result-driven phase. This 8th Assembly reaffirms our shared determination to make solar energy a true global public good, ensuring no community or country is left behind. With these thoughts, I now invite Honorable President of India to deliver her keynote address. Thank you. Dhanyavad.
Union Minister for New and Renewable Energy, Shri Prahlad Joshi ji. co-chair of the 8th session of the International Solar Alliance Assembly, Mr. Benoit Foraco, Director General, International Solar Alliance, Ashish Khanaji, Honorable Ministers of the State from Ghana, Sri Lanka, and Suriname, other distinguished representatives from ISA member states and partners, ladies and gentlemen, Namaskar. I am happy to join you all at the 8th session of the International Solar Alliance Assembly today. As the host country and the current president of the ISA Assembly, India takes great pride in bringing together the member countries on the common platform. The ISA stands as a symbol of humanity's shared aspiration to harness solar energy as a source of inclusion, dignity, and collective prosperity. Since ancient times, civilizations in India and across the world have revered the sun as the ultimate source of life and energy. This morning, as part of Chhath Puja celebrations, devotees in various parts of India offered arghya to the rising sun and prayed for the well-being and prosperity of their families. Yesterday, I also offered prayers to the setting sun. The sun connects us all, and when treated as a shared resource, it becomes a powerful force for global good. Ladies and gentlemen, climate change is affecting the entire world. Urgent and concrete steps need to be taken to deal with this threat. India is committed to combating climate change and is taking determined steps. International Solar Energy was launched in 2015, and its founding conference was held in 2018 in New Delhi. The ISA represents a significant step towards addressing this global challenge by encouraging the adoption and use of solar energy. Solar energy is a rediscovery of an ancient truth, that is, sun is the most democratic source of energy, accessible to all and belonging to none. The Solar for All initiative of the Government of India is based on this concept. Solar energy should not remain confined to the rooftop of the privileged. It should illuminate the homes of the poorest and open new opportunities for every person seeking a livelihood. Solarization at large scale will democratize energy use, enabling citizens to become active participants in building a clear and cleaner and more equitable planet. The idea of inclusion defines India's development journey. Our experience in illuminating homes in the remotest area confirms our belief that energy equity is the foundation of social equity. Access to affordable and clean energy, empowering communities, drives local economy and open up opportunities that extend well beyond the provisions of electricity. In this manner, solar energy is not merely about power generation, but also about empowerment and inclusive development. Ladies and gentlemen, the participation of women in every field is crucial for inclusive and sustainable development. ISA's Solar for Sea initiative is a welcome initiative to empower women through strategic interventions in areas such as policies, financing, and skilling. It is heartening to note that across India and many member countries, women are becoming solar engineers, entrepreneurs, and trainers. They are maintaining mini-grids, operating solar pumps, and bringing light to their areas. Their leadership ensures that solar energy not only reduces carbon footprints, but also breaks gender barriers. I am confident that energy access in the hands of women will definitely transform the lives of communities. Ladies and gentlemen, India ranks fourth in renewable energy installed capacity and also in wind power. It ranks third in solar power generation. Our progress in the renewable energy sector reflects the country's commitment and robust policy framework. It is a matter of pride that the country's installed solar capacity had crossed 120 gigawatt. This is an important step in achieving India's long-term goal of reaching 500 gigawatt of non-fossil capacity by 2030. However, our journey does not end here. By 2050, India aims not only to meet its clean energy targets, but also to become a hub that aggregates global solar demand and drives innovation, manufacturing, and knowledge exchange. Synergy between climate action and rural prosperity is essential for sustainable development. The Pradhan Mantri Kisan Urja Suraksha एवं Uttan Mahabhiyan is ensuring energy security for farmers along with honoring India's commitment to increase the share of installed capacity of electric power from non-fossil fuel sources to 40% by 2030. Dear delegates, the International Solar Alliance has already made remarkable progress, including the Global Solar Facility, Small Islands, Developing State Platform, Africa's solar mini-grids, and emerging digital innovations. The next step must be deeper inclusivity, ensuring that no woman, no farmer, no village, and no small island is left behind in this solar revolution. India remains steadfast in its commitment to work with all ISA member countries to build a solar-powered world, one in which every region, from the smallest island to the largest continents, prospers. As this Assembly deliberates on the way forward, I urge all member countries to think beyond infrastructure and focus on the lives of the people. I urge this Assembly to develop a collective action plan that links solar energy with job creation, women's leadership, rural livelihoods, and digital inclusion. Our progress should not only be measured through megawatts, but through the number of lives illuminated, the number of families strengthened, and the number of communities transformed. The focus should also be in technology development and on sharing latest and advanced technologies with all for maximum benefit. As we expand large-scale solar installations, we should ensure that the ecological balance of the region is preserved. After all, environment conservation for future is the very reason we are turning to green energy. As we look forward to this shared future, our responsibility is to harness sunlight wisely and share it equitably. We have to work with more dedication not only for our own countries, but for the entire world, not only for the present generation, but for the future generations. I am confident that the deliberations and decisions of this assembly will act as a milestone in the production of solar energy, which is contribute in building an inclusive and equitable world. Together, let us strive for a brighter, greener, and more inclusive future. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
We thank the Honorable President of India for her inspiring and gracious words. Your vision for a greener and more equitable planet resonates deeply with the collective mission of the International Solar Alliance to ensure that the light of the sun becomes the light of progress for all. Please be seated, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, as we thank the Honorable President of India for this high-level session, I express my gratitude to Excellencies, distinguished dignitaries, for remaining seated. Thank you so much for following the protocols for this high-level session. And with that said, it is going to be now my honor to announce that we will continue with the plenary session to deliberate on agenda item 12. And at this juncture, I'm going to request